Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe, and welcome to your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's exactly 12 minutes past 11. It is the 15th of November, 2021. So that means exactly 12 minutes. So we're just about. It is the 15th of November, 2021. So that means exactly 12 minutes. So we're just about. It is the 15th of November, 2021.
Your comments was
Because
breaking,
we are relaying the broadcast back to other platform as well, and that is why there's a bit of echo, but that has now been looked into. So once again, a very good morning and welcome to Star Radio UK. A month from now, we'll be talking about just 10 days literally before Christmas.
You got it. Wow. Okay. Listeners, it is Star Radio UK. How was your weekend?
Well, the weekend seems to be running very fast. I'm not sure whether it is the month of November, and when it's like I said, a month from now and 10 days after a month from today, there will be all kind of spending. I can already see some of the stores that are already enticing us with everything. That is if you have the money. But the weekend was very beautiful, especially when you spend it with your loved ones back here and back home. With a lot of sad news coming from back home, you also get a little bit worried about the future of Nigeria.
But thank God we are still alive and well and doing. Okay. Listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. I'm Archie here in the studios with Mr. Frank Davis, and we have Yomi all the way in our North London studios. And it's time for updates from Nigeria. But let me take this first story, which is the latter in the one that have been posted. The country's military authorities declared at the weekend that the armed forces remain loyal to their constitution and President Muhammadu Buhari, and therefore had no plans to overthrow his administration. They were reacting to reports claiming that the defense headquarters had warned soldiers against overthrowing Buhari. Now, let me ask you gentlemen a question, then we can go into the details of this story. Now, when has the armed forces high command, had information or certain plan that, look, some of these people are going to conduct a coup because of maybe things are not going right. When has there been any time in our life have you heard that they are planning that?
Actually, you never can tell. If you look at the coups around that has happened, because the army has tapped into their anger all the society, one or the other. Or sometimes, if you look at Castro, you could not say that they tapped into the anger of the society. It was a selfish group of greedy people who decided that their agenda must reign, and that's what they did. Now, what happened in Mali? What happened in Guinea-Conakry? What happened during Bashir's time in Sudan? Those are things that you can talk about. What happened even in Egypt? Mubarak, Hussein Mubarak. So the army, you never can tell when some people within each rank can rise up against the authority administration. Do not forget, Buhari is the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, so he is the head of the army. I think what they're trying to do is to reassure that amidst all the chaos, the security instability that is going on, the army is not in a position, and do not forget, this is just a session of the high commands of the army. Many who have been appointed, promoted by him, and who must demonstrate that they are still loyal to him. I mean, that's the least they can do for him, to say that, look, we are still loyal to you. As to what the junior ranks are thinking, which is a lot of coups, you see one general or one colonel over there, you see a bunch of
junior
ranks who are actually pushing for it. As to what they think is we do not know. But it's a good signal in my view to send to the country that look, we're still solidly behind our president.
Okay, let's go to Yomi. Yomi, now, what do you think about that? I know we're going to go into the details of the story, but do you think that with the insecurity and everything that is happening in the country, because the high commander said that, look, oh, everything is all right, President. We are strongly behind you. Nothing is going to happen. We don't have any intention of overthrowing you with every chaos that is happening. Do you think Nigerians or the military, the lower ranks, let me put it that way, because they will feel the pinch? Do you think they are in agreement with that?
Well, it seems quite a lot of people now understand that Nigeria, the ship, like we talked about it last week, might hit the rock and it might sink like Titanic. Maybe we might be able to save it with the new technology and the advancement of things that are much better compared to how Titanic was able to quickly sink, might be different. Let's go first to what the deputy speaker of the 8th Assembly had to say as at the time when he was, there. Save Nigeria from becoming killing field, Dogara urged the leaders. The former speaker, rather not the deputy, the former speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, has said Nigeria needs a leader who recognizes that compassion is not tossing a coin at the beggar, but rather pulling down the system that produced beggars to overcome its challenges. He said the country's leadership must do everything to save Nigeria from becoming another Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. Dogara asserted that true leadership is knowing that the real problem is what we demand and what we do not demand. He believes history does not just happen to us, but we make history happen, and that not everything that is faced can be challenged, but nothing can be challenged until it's faced. So does that mean that there's a lot of signal somewhere that we are looking at that we are not sure of? When you look at the other African countries, we've seen, coup upon coup happening in 21st century as at what we could have thought about it. Let's come back first. This same president, this current president, was a one-time overthrowing of a proper civilian rule in 1983 until Babangida came in and took him out as well. And then Babangida played the Maradona of a skillful, saying that he was going into transition of a democratic election in 1993. He called his very close friend, the late Chief M.K. Abiola. He said to late Chief M.K. Abiola, go and contest because your people love you. Your people will give you the mandate, but he had a different plan. And that means the fairest, freest election ever had in Nigeria history was tossed over like a coin. And that means MK Abiola spent the remaining years of his life being incarcerated in somewhere in Abuja until eventually was called for a meeting, just like we have been hearing now. Let's call for political solution with all the agitation happening across the country. But what we thought was, now that I realized after coming to England about 23 years ago, maybe sometime we should be careful of the kind of tea that we drink. That was the last tea MK Abiola drank, and MK Abiola died. Now election is about 452 days away. They are clamoring for the Southwest, but it seems the military might also be having a different agenda that we might not know about.
Well, a different agenda that we might not know about. Do you think that the military might agitate or think that, well, things are not taking the way they're supposed to think? Therefore, well, in order to uphold the constitution, we are going to now step in to make sure that the right thing is done.
I don't think Nigerian military has been basically a good example that we can call on to step in, because Archie, let's assume Buhari has failed.
Mm-hmm.
What does the military command be doing in allowing Boko Haram, the bandits, to basically, because they are called to defend the country?
Yeah.
Buhari was a general. He was not now in the front.
Call it front line.
Yeah. If anything at all, those who have been appointed, those who are talking now, what have they done? Because part of it is their responsibility.
Yeah.
They're supposed to I call it this is a nation under attack. And their core responsibility is to defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
That is their core defense. So if we do have people who, according to my father, who cross border to come and commit crime,
mm-hmm.
we don't even have Boko Haram, who we are told are based in the forest, that borders to another country, and you cannot secure your corridors. How are you going to take hold of the country and want to administer it? Are you getting? So for me, even the military stuff, I mean, there could be fine gentlemen in the military, but they command, the high command, as you speak, from where I sit, they're proven to be failure. Because at the end of the day, it is their core responsibility to be able to fight this Boko Haram and this, cross-border and all those things that we have. But they are not doing it. Or even if they are doing it, yes, I might be wrong saying they are not doing it. They've not stamped the authority on the crisis the way Nigerians love, or anyone. I mean, if you ask me, do I want to visit Nigeria? Yes. Do I want to visit certain parts of Nigeria? No. You know, but it should be, free to visit. If they can stamp the authority, and for a large extent, in my view, they have failed.
Well, listen, if you are listening to us, it's quite an interesting conversation that we're having this morning. Do you think that maybe military is stepping in? Call it military rule, and then we're cracking down like no man's business on this insurgency and stuff like that will solve the problem for us. But well, we have a word from the military high command saying that we are all behind you. We're not going to be doing anything of the sort. Do you feel rest assured? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Update from Nigeria. I have Mr. Frank Davis with me, and in the Northland studios we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who we are going back to now for some more update from Nigeria. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, over to me. Thank you very much. Once again, it is a very good morning. And the reason behind that headline that you've just been discussing, myself and you, military, we are not planning to overthrow Buhari's government. We lost another general to ISWAP this time around over the weekend. The country's military authority declared at the weekend that the armed force remain loyal to the constitution and the President Muhammadu Buhari, and therefore had no plans to overthrow his administration. They were reacting to reports claiming that the defense headquarters had warned soldiers against overthrowing Buhari. The reason for that is the killing of Commander 28 Task Force Brigadier Chibok Brigadier General Danzama Zikushu and 3 soldiers in an ambush in Uba Askira in Borno State over the weekend also triggered a fierce response by the military as troop battles and battered the terrorists, also killing about 37 of them. But Adamawa State Governor Honorable Amadu Umaru Fintiri expressed his condolences to the families and the colleagues of Zikusu and the 3 soldiers killed in the fight against insurgency over the weekend. So let's go straight to look at some of the other headlines that we have as well. A very sad story coming from Ivory Coast, and you might want to ask why. It was just yesterday, I was literally reading this article on Twitter by one of the journalists in Nigeria that has also run away from Nigeria because the federal government seems to be running after everybody. And this is what he said, when this article broke out, before the story that I'm about to say now. What he said was, I have just received a message from Côte d'Ivoire about Itunu Babalola. She is still in the prison in Abidjan, where she has contracted a serious infection and apparently she is dying. All those promises by NIDCON. NIDCON is what represents the diaspora outside. Who is in charge of NIDCON is Abike Dabiri. She is finally dying, but I can confirm now she has eventually gave up at the ghost according to the story. So what has actually happened? In September 2019, a 21-year-old Itunu, a trader based in Côte d'Ivoire, has traveled to Nigeria to visit her sick mom in Ibadan. Unknown to her before she returned to Cotonou to Côte d'Ivoire, would mark the start of what has led to the death, as we're discussing, this morning. So now the headlines come. Forsaken by Dabiri Erewa, wrongfully incarcerated, Itunu Babalola dies in Côte d'Ivoire prison. And this is the story, like I say. Itunu Babalola, a Nigerian wrongfully imprisoned in Côte d'Ivoire on charges of human trafficking, is dead, despite promises by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission boss Abike Dabiri Erewa to secure a release. Ms. Babalola was said to have contracted an infection in the prison, leading to her passing away. The news of her demise was announced by the Nigerian journalist David Odonye, who initially brought a case to the attention of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission known as NICOM. What a very sad story, as so many Nigerians are facing all this kind of persecution outside without a representative from the embassy. The embassy wanted about 400,000 naira from the friends that requested a support. And this is happening as well in UAE, where so many Nigerians are stuck in between going back home and staying in UAE because their work permit have been revoked by the authority in United Arab Emirates. So let's go back again to some of the other headlines. Africa richest man.
Yeah, just a quick one before we go on that one. Now, the death of this lady. I'm asking myself the question: do our embassies, do our ambassadors, or those people who are supposed to represent us and fight our causes when we have issues outside our country, are they doing their best, or are they working in our interest?
Actually, there's a bit of a problem over there. Some of us are here, our embassies don't know who exists.
Okay. That's one thing. Yeah.
If you take Nigerian passport, if you take a passport, we have a responsibility and duties as citizens. That when we arrive, wherever we get to any country, we are supposed to register with those embassies to be able to tell them that, look, I'm Adeyogo, I've arrived here, I'm a Nigerian citizen. Now, as to whether the embassy is actively facilitating that, encouraging us to do it, that's another question.
Yeah.
Now, if we are not able to do that, then it becomes difficult again to know where a Nigerian is, where a Ghanaian is, and where, the British. I mean, most were, when it gets to a point, they know who has traveled to which country they're able to monitor, they're able to tell you that to Syria, we estimate that we have about this number of, British over there.
Yeah.
Because they keep in contact with the embassy. We have not made our embassy very friendly, user friendly. That if I pick up a phone and call Nigerian embassy, how user friendly are they?
I was doing a broadcast, and then it was in the morning. I've forgotten. I think a year after the Lekki massacre, and then he was doing a broadcast from there, and there were queues. And it's cold, and it's raining, and people are standing there, and I'm saying that we treat our own people like that in a foreign land. How will people look at you and treat you?
It's because we do not have respect for human beings. I keep on saying, Archie, if you look at our style of governance, everything that we do not respect fellow human beings and fellow Africans. We prioritize foreigners because we see them as cash cows.
Yeah, you're right.
We see them as cash cows. Look, I've just had a report of something that happened in Ghana last 2 weeks. It's not pleasant. I mean, people have traveled and they're being viewed as cash cows. Once they cannot profit directly from you, you're not a valuable, a commodity to asset to them, which shouldn't be the case. In this country, now if I go to embassy and I say, okay, I'm traveling to probably a village near Bath. Is there any Ghanaian over there at all? Nobody will be able to have that. Because one, we have also not registered.
Okay.
There's no database to help us in doing that. But because the embassy has not made itself user-friendly, they've not invited us, and they've not even encouraged us. The various associations that we do have should be used. Our churches should be used as vehicles. Why can't we go to an embassy, go to, let's say, Redeemed Christian Church, negotiate with them and tell them, look, we're not building a database of Nigerians over here. Because when something happens, we want to be quick, we want to be able to respond to them quickly. And then Redeemed Data Church will say, okay, announcing church, provide a means of registry. So actually, it's a dual responsibility, but I think government and leaders need to set the place, they need to create the environment. And we citizens must also play our part, because actually, if, for instance, we're saying a facility is there and I do not go to register, it's a problem. If I go to Ghana embassy and I say, okay, I'm a Ghanaian, I want to register, I want to put my
ṣé kìíní yẹn connect padà mọ́ mi ti virgin internet ó ti wà disconnected. Ṣé yẹn ti wà connected? Okay, let's quickly connect it then. Sky. Look, it's okay. When I say we're on.